What's going on, guys? My name is Aldeniro and welcome to what I believe to be episode 21 of my Leicester City career mode. As you can see, after a really good start in the league, we are in a good 6th position, I think. We're playing against Chelsea at home in this episode though, and I wasn't going into this expecting a win. We did get a victory at Stamford Bridge last season thanks to a Leicester-banned Cambiasso goal to nil, but we no longer have Cambiasso. We've let him go because his wage demands were very high and he was declining rapidly, and the victory that we got against them was only on world class difficulty, whereas now we're on legendary, and I wasn't expecting much going into this game. But as you see in the second minute, a Costa chance was saved pretty well by Schmeichel, and then we come up to the 13th minute where the ball comes to Diego Costa on the left hand side of the pitch, who keeps it in and puts in a really good cross with his left foot, and it leads to a Nemanja Matic goal. And I thought this was such a useless goal to concede. Like, we're playing against a team who have arguably one of the best I don't know actually, because Man United's attacking line is very good, but Chelsea are very good going forward, one of the best attacking lines in the league without a shadow of a doubt, and it was Matic who scored a really scrappy goal for them early on, which had me a little bit annoyed. But just after the half-hour mark, Ramirez plays the ball to Torgan Hazard, who goes for the curling finesse shot, which hits off the post. And I have a question for you guys actually. How long do you guys want me to continue this series for? Like, last season I kept my my first career mode going until the end of FIFA pretty much, but I didn't start it till December. I see this as being a series where I, just go the whole way through to the end and see what happens along the way. But how long do you guys want me to stay at Leicester City for? Because I think with YouTube series like this, if you don't really have any progression, people start to get a little bit irritated and they want you to stop and start a new one again. And I think we will have a lot of progression because of the way that I've gone about building the team, and the fact that we are playing very well this season, despite the fact that we're getting absolutely annihilated by Chelsea right now. But we come up to the 90th minute of this game with Kamara playing the ball into Scott Sinclair, whose shot goes just wide. That was the last chance of the game. We did end in defeat, but it's not a bad defeat. It's a 1-0 defeat against one of the best teams in the league, so it wasn't any reason to get demotivated or anything like that. But our next game is against Newcastle United, and this is in the Capital One Cup, hence the slight change in the presentation of it, how it looks on the screen. This is the team lineup I went with. A weakened team, as you can see, pretty much a second string 11 apart from Zaha and Albrighton and Kasper Schmeichel playing in there. But Newcastle, a very difficult side to play against, as emphasised by just how good their team is, in all honesty, and the fact that they are a really good side in this game and they are really difficult to play against, and they did destroy me the last time I played them. But yeah, I want to stay at Leicester for a long time. I'd like to take Leicester eventually into the Champions League, but I don't think, it's definitely not going to happen this season. As you see in the 11th minute, we take the lead thanks to a David Nugent goal to nil. So yeah, it's not going to happen this season. European qualification will not happen this season. I'm fairly sure of that, because it is going to be a little bit too difficult. But I think we finish in the top half this season. We get a good financial windfall for the next season, and who knows, make a push towards Europe. I think that'd be good. Let me know what you guys think though. I sort of spent way too long talking about this, but as you see there in the 16th minute, Sissoko puts his shot just wide of the post, but it was a sign of things to come as Newcastle continued their advancing attacking play, and the ball comes in towards Vernon Anita. It comes out to someone who played it into Jack Colback, who finds Anita in the middle, who runs around everybody before playing it to Sammy Amiobi, and after all of the toying with the defence, Jack Colback eventually finishes the move to equalise for Newcastle. A ridiculous passing move to be on the end of it. The teams who pass you to death in this game, it's actually basically every team, in all honesty, but some teams are set up for it better than others, and Newcastle came close in the 28th minute, but it was Cisse who put it wide that time, and then 3 minutes later they would have another attack as Cisse gets through all of the space in the middle, tries to exploit it, plays it into Sissoko, who has a look up, goes for the left-footed shot, but thankfully for us it went just wide beyond the half-hour mark. I don't know why he didn't pass to Cisse there. That's what I would have done. But we come just before the second half. Matty James has a shot from distance which almost tested the goalkeeper and hit the back of the net, but it wasn't to be, and in the 70th minute Newcastle United came forward again with Papi Cisse on the ball, taking on Luca Ante and just getting the better of him because of his strength, I think, before hitting it back to Mohamed Sissoko, who crosses it in towards Remy Cabella. The ball gets cleared eventually, but not well enough as Anita retrieves it. He plays it to Cisse, whose shot goes just over, but a signal of their intent, and their bid to win the game. We come up to 73 minutes with Gary Mackay-Steven on the ball. He does manage to manufacture a shooting position from his initial run, run, but it goes just wide. And we come into extra time in the game when Newcastle really put their foot to the floor, and they really did go all out attack at this point. But we did manage a counter attack from it as the ball comes to Gardner, who plays the ball into an onside Jeffrey Schlupp, who bears down on the goalkeeper, nobody ahead of him, and he manages to put it wide. And that was just I was livid after that, I swear to God. But 4 minutes later we get a slightly different chance as the ball comes to Danny Drinkwater in midfield. He finds Scott Sinclair, who has a look up, does a nice Ronaldo chop to take on his player and plays it back to Drinkwater. He plays it to Matty James, who sees Gary Mackay-Steven in an advanced position, who approaches the box, gets into that glorious crossing position, plays it into Schlupp, who this time scores with the header and puts us into the lead against the run of play, as it always is when we score. It's just that this time it wasn't a counter-attacking goal that we scored, but it was a goal that could potentially win us the game if Newcastle were willing to just not score at this point. But Janmaat came into the box, he plays it to Vernon Anita, who, as you can see, picked up an injury. His cross was in towards Curtis Good, but his header was saved by Schmeichel and kept off the line, and that was the launch pad we needed for a counter-attack. But Schmeichel fucked up the throw out, and the ball was under threat inside the box to cause another goal. But Janmaat on the ball plays it back to Vernon Anita in midfield, who goes for a weird cross from a long way out, and the ball eventually gets cleared towards Jeffrey Schlupp, who just has the pace and the strength to take on all of these players, and he runs towards the left hand side of the box looking for an option in the middle, but none there at the moment. But he does pick out Danny Drinkwater, who scores a powerful header from distance to round off what was an absolutely brilliant victory for us against a team who, like Stoke did, absolutely battered us for 120 minutes, and we just got 3 lucky breaks in the game. And sometimes that's just all you need. Sometimes you only need one, as emphasised in the last game against Stoke. But here's a look at the squad report on your screen right now. It's been a while since I showed you one of these, so I thought I'd show you guys what the squad is looking like. I'm very, very happy with the team, in all honesty. The way that we're playing is a good indication that the signings I made were the right ones. And to be honest, my favourite part, the only reason I even play career mode, is because going back to my days as a football manager player, it's really, really fun for me to take over a team and try my tactics with them, see if they work or not, and then to identify weaknesses in the tactic itself and to sign players to facilitate the necessary positions that are required. And that's something that I've always found really, really fun, and that's something that I think I'm very good at. I think when it comes to FIFA, like, I'm probably not a very good player if you were to play me, but when it comes to adapting to learning how to play against the AI and understanding the tactical side of it, I think I'm fairly decent at it. And that's just, I don't know, it's one of those things, it's just a lot of fun for me. But I really love the diversity of managing in the Premier League and how you rarely get the same game twice, even with cup fixtures. So our next game is against Newcastle. We're playing away from home at St James's Park this time, and this is in the league. This was a much more crucial fixture for me than the cup game was, even though the cup game is good. Like, the board wants a good cup run from us, but I want to do well in the league. That's my main priority. I want a top half finish this season. That's what I'm aiming for. But we went with the 4-4-2 with 2 holding midfielders that we went with in the last in the last match against Newcastle. But this time it was a better team than the one that played against them in midweek, so that was something that we did have on our side. Having said that, though, Newcastle's team had some improvements in it at the same time too. Sissoko still shooting from everywhere on the pitch at all times, fortunately for us, because he hasn't managed to score one yet. But from this corner kick, the ball comes to Williamson inside the box, who smashes it off the crossbar, and thankfully our defence managed to not concede there. But we come up to the 28th minute with Dave Nugent playing this nice ball into Mohamed Kamara inside the box, who has a look up, crosses it into Dwight Gale, who finds the back of the net and puts us a goal up again against the run of play against Newcastle. And it just happens that way before the half hour we managed a nice little counter attack to make our fans happy and keep the momentum going, and hopefully we were able from here to sit back and do well in the game. I did set us to ultra defensive because I think I'm very strong when I play on the counter attack, and I think you guys understand that. It's very evident in the goals that I score and the way that I play and how I'm stronger when I'm counter attacking and things of that nature. But we come up to the stoppage time at the end of the first half with Riviere on the ball. Nobody challenging him at the moment, but he plays a really good 1-2 with Tiote that completely fools the defence, and he does manage to net that all important equaliser for Newcastle United. And at this point I was thinking to myself, like, I could rest on this and take a point. I think a point against Newcastle away from home is still a really good result given how good they are in the game. But they came forward in the second second half, and in the 56th minute they almost managed a chance on goal, but Kasper Schmeichel did get it clear as far as Dwight Gale, who tried to get round Tiote and it wasn't happening, but the ball came to Mark Albrighton, who played it into Gale, who has a look up to find Schlupp in a fairly good attacking position, and he runs through every single defender using his pace and gets a shot off, but unfortunately it was saved. The rebound comes to Albrighton, who crosses it in, and Jeffrey Schlupp is in the middle to bundle it into the back of the net and make it 2-1 to us, again against the run of play and again on a counter attack. And this is just the strength of the team, and I'm going to stop talking about it forever now because it's all I've talked about over the last few episodes. But Jeffrey Schlupp has been in some serious form lately as well, and again Newcastle came on the attack just 5 minutes later, looking to answer us, respond to us after what we did, but another counter-attack ensues with Gary Gardner on the ball this time. He finds Dwight Gale, who sees Schlupp making that really good run ahead of Williamson. Williamson miscues his attempted clearance, and Schlupp comes in to finish handily into the corner of the net on the 65th minute, making it 3-1 to us, an exact replica of the result against them in midweek, except this time we didn't require injury or extra time to do it. This time we did it in the 90 minutes, and we pick up another amazing 3 points in the league. First it was the Stoke game, now it's this game, and it looks like it's going to be a great season for us. I haven't played very far ahead, so I don't really know what's going to happen, but if we can keep this form up, I'll be delighted with the season overall, I think, and how it's going to pan out. But that's the end of this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like on the video. That would be much appreciated. As you can see, the board really appreciates my performance as well, which is always nice to see. But yeah, I've been Elden Hero. Thanks for watching.